Good afternoon. Today I want to share a gem I found in the World Economic Forum, no less. This is an interesting take. As you can see, the World Economic Forum. This article by this chap, Thales Panza de Paula. Probably Brazilian or Portuguese or not. Well, my respects to you, mate. And I hope you have your LinkedIn profile up to date. Really. But anyway, let's go to the article. This is quite interesting to find this article in the World Economic Forum. But okay, good luck to you, mate. I wish you all your luck, all the best, really, sincerely. Why bailing out companies doesn't help people recover from economic shocks of COVID-19? Well, chocolate for the news. Congratulations. Sorry. This should be known by every mediocre economist out there, really. But okay, let's go to the article. Central banks are acting not only as lender of last resort, which is debatable. The list was what's the role of central banks, but okay, let's, for the sake of argument, let's grant it of lenders of last resort, but also market makers of last resort, which can misalign incentive. And this is important, the incentives in society, they're very important, and this madness is misaligning incentive, is creating perverse incentive, and create moral hazard, whereby corporations face little to no consequences for potentially excessive risk taken. And this is important. We're going back to this later. Combined with significant untargeted and protracted fiscal stimuli, we have the perfect recipe for lemon socialism. And this is something that puzzles me. Back in the days, companies what they used to ask from government is, get off the way, let me do my business. What are big companies, big business asking now? Fiscal stimuli. What? Why? No. You want the government away from your business. Government should not get into the business of business. Government in general should be away from most business anyway. But okay, let's continue. Governments should realign incentives for companies and focus spending on social protection systems that support individuals and alleviate the economic and social consequences of recession. Yeah, well, we can grant this. This is exceptional times, and most of the disaster has been done by the government actions, not by the pandemics itself. So okay, I give you that if the government forbids you from running your business, it's in at least it should compensate you for that. I would prefer the government would not forbid you to run your business in the first place, because that's what the government do. The government create the problem and then spend all money to solve the problem they just created if they just couldn't get away in the first place. But that's another rant for another day. By nature, economic shocks such as the ones seen in the aftermath of COVID-19 are unpredictable. However, we undoubtedly know that another shock will happen in the future. Yet, once again, our economic systems are depending on widespread government and central bank intervention for survival. And that's the problem. And this is not because of COVID-19. This is because of decades long of government handout. And the thing is, in free market, failure is a feature, not a bug. Business are expected to fail. If they are not well run, they're expected to fail, to leave space for more efficient businesses to take their place. If they don't fail, you have stagnation. You have this is dealing with it down. So to create greater resilience in the long term, government should readjust incentive for companies and focus spending on supporting individuals. Okay, in exceptional times, yeah, I would prefer that private organizations take care of this, supporting this individual. But okay, in these exceptional times, the government should support the people affected, not just throw money from a helicopter like they're doing now. Government intervention, moral hazard, and allocation of resources. This is important. In the central bank act as lenders of last resort to provide liquidity to financial markets. However, since the global financial crisis, I would say since earlier, but they have also operated as market makers of last resort and lenders of last resort to the non-financial sector. That should not be led. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, 5 of the leading central banks combined have injected over 5 trillion into the market. And there's a link here if you want some more detail into the Reuters. With little to no say over how additional liquidity is allocated, governments are left hoping that credit trickles down to small and medium enterprises, citizens. Yeah, not to the credit, not to the stock markets or real estates. Didn't it? These extraordinary monetary interventions have helped international equity markets recover most of the losses suffered in February and March, even though widespread unemployment and elevated bankruptcy remain the reality for much of society. Yeah, all these trillions money just printed, they just went to the stock market and real estate. No, they shouldn't be printing that amount of money anyway in the first place. Such loose monetary policy is part of the multi-decade trend. See, this is not okay. Let me make a parenthesis here. This crisis, this economic crisis, is because of the pandemic, but the pandemic just trigger what was coming. It's been, if you see in this graph, since the great financial, in today's interest rate in most of the developed world. However, since the great financial crisis, and I will say since earlier, interventions of this magnitude have created a sense that recklessness is institutionalized and even rewarded when organizations are too big to fail, and they must fail. They are supposed to fail because they created the incentive to not just take risk, but being reckless and irresponsible and outright corrupted. So what? Okay, let's see. Listen, whenever there's someone handing over money, resources, or whatever, there's going to be corruption. That's what one breeds the other. So yeah, they're supposed to fail. Failure is a feature, not a bug. These measures have had severe negative long-term consequences on potential growth and society. There's a link to the Financial Times article related to this. You can read it if you, including fostering moral hazard. And this is the topic, the subject that most economists forget. It's not just the economic damage; it's the moral, the moral they foster, they breed. Government handout creates a moral of laziness, of dependency, and crushes the hard working, the saving, the pull up yourself, and that's a problem. That's a problem in Latin America. That's a widespread problem, and it's coming right to the West. Believe me, I know Latin American countries, and this is a big problem in Latin America. And the West, the industrialized nations. So one day I'm going to make a video about the cycles of society, how they go from poverty to freedom to wealth, and then how they decay. That's and here you can see the central bank balance sheet. This red one is Bank of Japan. This was already in problem. See that slightly going up, because that's I know who say that, but people still believe that inflation is good. Just a bit of inflation, that's good. Of course it's good for the government, for the people who live on debt, and we can't live on debt the whole time. This debt needs to be paid. And no, modern monetary theory is bollocks. They're gonna tell you, yeah, government can lend. Yeah, try that at home. Go all the way to your credit card and see what happens. No, you can. And Japan was already in problem. See, they were slightly, just so you don't notice, they were just printing, and 2017, there's a bomb everywhere. But and then 2020, well, the European Central Bank, that's a mess. That's disaster. Look at this. Look at this bump. This is outrageous. And well, the Fed, the everyone's friend. See that? Look at this. Look at this. You see, and this is insane. This is insane. There's so many dollars in the world. No, Um, well, then you have the Bank of England. Okay, yeah, they printed some, but not as much. And Switzerland, yeah, they increased, but here not so much. But the Fed and the European Central Bank, that I mean, this goes beyond incompetence. I mean, this can be explained just on sheer incompetence. There has to be something else. Look at look at this. Yes, quantitative easing. Yeah, just buy assets. Central banks are buying all sort of things, sort of assets. They're buying debt. They're buying. No, no, but okay. Now the serious consequences such moral hazard is a significant rise in the number of so-called zombie firms. These are companies that only generate funds to cover the interest but not the principal. Since 2008, the number of such organizations has significantly increased in the developed world. Yeah, that's a problem. Keeping companies from failing prevents the efficient collection of resources into more productive and growing parts of the economy. Yes, this again, failure is a feature, not a bug. Okay, if we fail, many people would lose their job. Well, yeah, you should have thought about this before mismanaging your own company, should you? Won't you? Okay. So the lemon socialism, privatizing profits and socializing losses. Yeah, one could expect the company would have prioritized corporate resilience following the significant injection of public money. Of course they didn't. Of course they didn't. What should they? What should they? Because when they fail again, they're gonna have another handout. What should they care about properly managing the company? Actually, it's better to run the company to the ground and then get the government handout. In reality, what we have seen in the past few years, and again, this is not because of COVID-19. This has been for a few decades already. This is before 2008, before 2000. Continued increase in shareholder returns on buyback, corporate indebtedness, and a significant reduction in productive investment and research and development. Of course they are, because it's cheaper to run your company to the ground than to properly manage it. While government has carried the burden of events such as COVID-19, companies have fundamentally spent the past 40 years returning capital to shareholders. Yeah, and that's what happened in Japan in the 90s. And no one learned. We don't learn. Some justify such an obvious departure from free market economics as a mechanism to prevent systemic failure and further damage to the economy. In reality, this is lemon socialism. You can find a political and economic system where profits are strictly the property of shareholders and catastrophic losses are an externality to society. In essence, misaligned incentives have made numerous companies too big to fail. And fail they should. They should fail. This organization failed to build the resiliency in good times that could help them weather the inevitable down times to come. And that's the part. And what's worse than that is that all these problems and the problems that all this mismanagement of companies, the central banks lending, now that all the problem that the poverty that it creates, the inequality, this creates further inequality, and not the kind of person who usually cares about inequality. I care about more about poverty, but extreme inequality, although not a problem in itself, it can be a symptom of deeper problem, and this is one of them. And what's worse, all this then is blamed on free market, on capitalism, and what people will say, see, capitalism doesn't work, we need to fix it. No, stop trying to fix capitalism. Capitalism failed because all the people trying to fix it. It's like having a Ferrari and replacing some pieces, a piston and pulleys and everything, and a bunch of pieces with low quality one, and they say, see, a Ferrari is a crap. No, stop fixing the Ferrari, and you see it works. Let's stop fixing capitalism. That's the problem. The biggest problem with all this government interventions is that the result are blamed on capitalism, and they are actually the capitalism work in spite of the government intervention. That's the problem, and regular people who don't know much of economics, they say they see that and say, see, we have more poor people, we have more inequality. As I say, that's not the main problem, but can be a symptom of a deeper problem, and then you have this cycle where the government intervenes, make things worse, and then the same government say, see, capitalism doesn't work, we need to fix it, we need to intervene. They intervene more, and things get way worse, and it creates this negative feedback loop. That and then you end up with the mercantilist, the crony capitalist, and the government friends running the show. And who is the who get the brunt of everything? The usual regular folks. And they end up supporting this supporting all these measures. Clear regulation and cost internalization. Okay, rebuilding incentive. This is interesting. Around the globe, however, continue on a path of short-termism and reckless behavior for near-term investors, return in detriment of long-term value, societal prosperity. We need to redress corporate incentive to ensure that vast sums of government support are not once again used in vain. Or maybe the government should not waste vast sums in the first place. If we continue to intervene through monetary and fiscal support without appropriate adjustment to incentive, we will amplify distortions and lay the groundwork for further systemic instability in the future. Of course, it's not a problem of socialism. Socialism is a problem in itself, but it's not a problem of capitalism. It's not a problem of free market. The problem is people trying to fix it. The problem is the government. Politicians are very quick to intervene, are very quick to make it dependable on them. They're very quick to throw subsidies a big company and to protect them, doing very big quotes, air quotes right now on this protect. And yeah, because the more the government intervenes, the more people, regular people, depend on them, and the more likely they are to vote for them. To rebalance incentive, mitigate moral hazard, and the moral argument, the cultural changes that government intervention create is something that economists often forget. They overlook this, and this is important. Again, I can bring the example of Latin America. It's a big problem. You can find the situation on Chile. They're trying to go back to more government intervention, and there's a big struggle in Chile, where people like Axel Kaiser, they're trying, they're working very hard to at least don't make things worse. But again, that's a content for another time. Okay. Moral. And just economic systems away from lemon socialism. We need to implement critical regulatory and tax reform. I would say reforms as in shopping, most of it. Vivi Chari and Patrick Keher propose regulating company leverage and tax insights to achieve sustainable, efficient outcome. I would say, I would say, close the money, start from closing the money holes, the dollar duct for companies. That would be a good start. Company leverage, they suggest you have the debt equity ratio limit. I would say company leverage move to 0, while in parallel, the company side should eliminate distortions and correct the technology too big to fail, or just let them fail. Okay, and well, this is where, oh boy, Thales Panzo de Paula. Eu compreendo. Okay, don't be hard on the lad. He works for the World Economic Forum, so he needs to somehow shoehorn this onto the Great Reset, which is topic for a future video. Entirely new foundation for economics and social system. The foundation regard market incentive that guarantee firms operate with society's best interests in mind. Free market. Free market it promotes cooperation. It promotes the best interests of people. We need a framework that respect private property and a legal framework for business to operate, and people and they can cooperate within them one another, and people get jobs, and business prosper, people prosper. So but he needs to shoehorn this into the world economic agenda. So this is the hey, I'm still working for you, pal. Have for too long ignored the consequences of monetary and fiscal intervention on long-term prosperity. What what are you doing in the World Economic Forum, man? You should work for a libertarian think tank. Come on, mate. De Souza, go to work for a libertarian think tank. You're the better. It is time we rebalance incentives so companies operate in a way that benefits stakeholders and society. Instead of focusing on saving jobs by subsidizing and bailing out inefficient organizations, government should spend on social protection system. Okay, if possible that by private charities, but okay, let's some small part social protection system that support individual, this is important, individual, and alleviate the economic and social consequence of recession. Okay, partner engagement. Me tale Spanza de Paula. Hope I say it right. You should go to a libertarian think tank. Okay. Well, now, as usual, I'll leave a link to the article in the description. If you like this, like the video. If you don't, dislike the video, and leave a comment on why you done. And if you really like it, share it and subscribe. Cheers.